How's it going, guys? So it is 10:26 p.m. Friday, the 28th of January, and I am in Hokkaido right now. Took a flight today from Osaka. Had some good food here. Before I go out and get some sake, I decided that I would make an audio Qbank question, okay? Because that's what cool people do when they go on mini vacations, is they do work, right? Um, but all jokes aside, even though it really wasn't funny what I just said, is this question super fucking high yield for your step one exam? Okay, so I'm going to quickly give you a high yield factoid. You guys have been following my content, know that I'm not fancy. I'm not about being entertaining. This question strictly serves the function of increasing your score. Okay, so I'm not going to make this a 31-minute clip. So before we get started, I will be a quick asshole, tell you to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up, really appreciate it. Now let's get into the question here, where we have a 31-year-old dude. He's got a 2-month history of lesion on his left shin. It's not itchy or painful. 4 years ago, he underwent a renal transplant due to rapidly progressive glomerulonephritis. Physical exam shows a 2 by 1 centimeter ulcerated erythematous, crusted plaque on the left shin. Question's merely asking what the most likely diagnosis is here. So I will walk through these answer choices, be concise, and as I told you, there's an important factoid you need to know for your USMLE, okay? Choice A, actinic keratosis, wrong fucking answer. What the USMLE wants you to know about this is it's classically in sun-exposed areas. So farmer, fisherman, construction worker, it'll be a crusted erythematous lesion on the forehead, pinna of the ear, dorsa of the hands, the forearm, okay? And it's a precursor to squamous cell carcinoma, all right? So for example, if they give you a farmer who has an erythematous scaly lesion on the forehead, that's your actinic keratosis, aka solar keratosis. If it goes on to ulcerate, it's now a squamous cell carcinoma, okay? Super fucking high yield. It's not the answer here, actinic keratosis, but it's high yield. Moving forward, basal cell carcinoma, also the wrong answer. This will be in sun-exposed areas and classically described as pearlescent or slightly translucent. They can say there are heaped up borders or rolled edges, and that there are telangiectasia on the lesion. They will often give you a spot diagnosis, okay, where they show you a lesion on the nose, and you can see there's heaped up borders, slightly translucent, and you can see a little telangiectasia there, and you say, okay, that's a BCC, all right? Moving forward, contact dermatitis, wrong answer. This is type 4 hypersensitivity. In terms of something that could show up on the shin, classically linear rows of vesicles is synonymous with contact dermatitis due to poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac in someone who went hiking or in a gardener, okay? Linear rows of vesicles, very, very buzzy for contact dermatitis due to weeds, okay? There's a lot we can talk about contact dermatitis on the USMLE. Choice D, lichen planus, wrong fucking answer. This is colloquially the P's, so purple pruritic polygonal papules, and it's going to be in someone who has hepatitis C. The only thing you need to know for the USMLE for lichen planus is literally just purple skin lesions in someone who has hepatitis C, okay? Choice E, molluscum contagiosum, also the wrong answer. This is classically pediatrics. It can occur in adults who are immunocompromised, but classically pediatrics, they're going to say there's painless, peach/skin colored or slightly reddish papules with a central umbilication. And the kid may have recently gone to a pool party. So it's caused by pox virus, classically acquired via fomites, which is a weird word. So fomites means inanimate object, such as the metal railing of a public pool, okay? So clusters of papules with central umbilication in a kid, and if it's an adult, you want to do an HIV test, okay? It can be seen immunocompromised. Choice F, squamous cell carcinoma, is the correct answer here. Now, I said there was an important factoid I wanted to inculcate you with, which is that you need to know for USMLE that immunocompromised state is an extremely important risk factor for SCC. Now, this would have gone under the radar for many of you reading this, but the patient's history of renal transplant is not coincidental. The implication is that the patient would be on immunosuppressant agents. Okay, if you have a transplant, you're going to have to be on, e.g., chronic steroids or other more aggressive agents, okay, such as azathioprine, cyclophosphamide, etc. Okay, so this patient's going to be immunocompromised because of his history of having, or because he is an organ transplant recipient, which increases his risk for SCC. And the lesion is ulcerated. Okay, so even if we wanted to make a contention and say, oh, like, actinic keratosis, couldn't that be ulcerated? Once again, it's not in a sun exposed area, and ulcerated much more strongly applies to squamous cell carcinoma, especially the fact that this guy is immunocompromised. Okay, so that's your take home. The same fucking way, a patient who has AIDS, HIV, has increased risk of SCC due to HPV 16/18. Okay, genital and anal. It also applies for other locations for SCC. All right, and as I prefaced, we weren't going to make this a 19-minute clip. You know the deal. I'm going to continue to make more content. If you like my stuff, subscribe my channel, and I appreciate your time. That's it.